I've had a few requests asking how I clean my lake trout. We just did a video on cleaning burbot, which is a bit different. These are pretty straightforward, but I'll still show anybody that's wanting to see. Start with a sharp knife. I like a knife with a lot of backbone. We just finished sharpening it before the video. To start, we'll grab our lake trout. I like to put it on the cutting board back towards me. I'll make an incision right behind this gill cover on an angle so you get the meat from up behind the head. Cut down, kind of down towards the belly, and then to your picture an invisible line from this fin to your head. Follow that line down like that. Once you get past your fin, poke your knife tip in until you feel the backbone. Come right through. Angle your knife a bit towards the spine. Work your way down towards the tail. Take your knife tip, follow the backbone right down to the rib cage. You're going to feel a line of pin bones. You can hear them cutting with my knife as I touch them. Cut them all. Start angling your knife up a hair towards to go with your rib bones. Start working your way down the ribs, trying to follow the ribs as close as possible to get as much meat off the belly as you can. So at this point, you can either split it here, or you can flip the whole fish and leave it whole. Match up with that line. Start your next cut up underneath the gill cover here. Angle it up towards here to get that little extra meat. Start following your line down the back again until you get past this fin. Poke through till you feel the backbone halfway through. Come through. You want to come through right at this fin. Angle your knife down towards the tail. Cut right through. Exact same as the other side. Start following your bones down. Cut through all your pin bones. You can hear them all. Start following your ribs. Angle it down with your ribs to get as much meat off as possible. So you got almost your whole slab. Cut the little bit out here. That's it. So throw the rest of it in the garbage. Now you've got a nice chunk of meat. So now you got both halves. I like to take my knife and run down the white as far as I can. So you're just like that on an angle. By the time you're done, you've got almost a perfect fillet. Square on the bottom, as much meat as you possibly can get. I do the same thing with the other side. I prefer to cut away from me. Just kind of take your knife and go underneath that white. Follow it all the way down. Throw your belly out. Now to get your bones out, I prefer to skin them and then take the bones out. There's some guys that like to leave the skin on their fish. I don't. So all I did, I take my two fingers, I run my knife down my fingers till I get to the skin. I start to turn my knife. I have a tiny little piece of meat here that I can hold with my hands. I start moving my knife. So you can hold your knife still and just wiggle the skin. So slightly angled, wiggle the skin, and it's all going to come off. Not a speck of meat on that skin. Looks beautiful on the other side, and you're still got a really nice looking fillet. So if you take your knife now to take the last row of bones out, you just run your hand right here, and there's a whole row of pin bones. So if you go put your fingers on them, start your knife right beside them, they angle up slightly, so you got to almost cut upwards. Like that. You can feel them all the way down. So once you get to the end of them, I make a small incision down, and you can pretty much eyeball it because you know where they were or you can take your hand and physically fit or feel everything that's there. That's a little thicker than what I usually like, but I'm trying to do two things here with cleaning and videoing. So that right there is a perfect trout fillet, boneless, and some of the best eating fish, in my opinion, in the lake. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully bringing more videos in the future.